Hi everybody,
Hey,
my name is Jakob,
I'm Noah.
and we're gonna show you some things about making your own videos and actually making your own videos with.
Either your mobile phone, or maybe you use an iPad. I even have a stand for it.
Yeah, and maybe some things about what to consider with lighting and sounds and all these things. Things that will help you go from very horrible videos to actually well-functioning videos. That's the idea, at least.
Sure.
So join us. Okay, some first basic rules. When you do video recording, always make a test recording. And that's because you never know which type of mistakes you might be doing. You might accidentally put your finger in front of the camera on the mobile phone, and then, well, it looks silly. Or if you're not really in control of your hands, first of all, you notice it because you do these nervous movements, but it might also accidentally hit the microphone, and then the sound is ruined. You might not even be recording. So always make a test recording to check if things are okay. And when you then are ready to record, agree on a signal about when you record. This might seem pretty obvious, but I mean, everybody has tried to lose a very good recording because you'd set your best lines all day and we weren't recording. So agree on a signal that's clear and it's given by the cameraman, and then always give a little bit of space between the signal from the cameraman and when you start talking, just so you have enough space to do editing stuff afterwards. And then, very important, sometimes overseen, it's actually never miss a good testing. Instead of saying silly lines, sounds and stuff like that, testing, stuff like that, do your actual lines, the things you want to say in a moment, because this might actually be the best performance you have all day. So then your test becomes your actual recording. So never miss a good testing by saying silly things. And then always do 2 or 3 takes, so you have something to choose between. If maybe some of it was okay, but you didn't use a part from another recording and so on. So always make 2 or 3 testings. And yes, now I remember, always stay in character. And why? Well, because it might be the case that you cannot see yourself that it's actually working. You maybe have been thinking about saying an exact line, and then you say it in a bit different way, but it doesn't matter. It might even be better than what you imagined before. So never stop. Stay in character until the cameraman says cut.
Cut.
So the first thing you need to consider is the light. And rule number 1, if you're inside video recording, is never stand in front of the window. Rule number 2, you need to have enough light. As you can see at the moment, I'm standing in a very dark room, and it's not a really great picture, isn't it? So if I put some light on and move over here, then we are at rule number 3, which means that you need to consider where you stand. You can probably see that I have some shadows in my face at the moment, so I need to move. If I go over here, the lights are much better. So we're outside now, and that's because probably the best lighting you can get is a kind of a clouded day. You can see here gray skies, no sun. In general, you can make very good pictures outside, but if it's a sunny day, please remember rule number 1, the one with the window. It's even worse if you're filming up against the sun.
As you can see, I'm now a good distance away from the camera, which also means that I'm a good distance away from the microphone. So the microphone, especially when it's windy and you have a lot of background noise, can be very hard to hear what I'm saying. So if the audio has to be good, I have to get closer to the camera. Now this is much better audio because this time I'm wearing a Lavilier microphone. This is just an extension cord with a microphone on the end, and it's about 50 euros, so it's not very expensive. But do you a favor, buy yourself the one with the long extension cord, because this one I don't really know what to do with. Okay, when you do a video clip, make sure you listen to it right afterwards, because sometimes there may be some sounds in the background that you really don't want on your video clip.
So now we somehow have control over how we make our pictures. The next thing is actually what are we going to film and how are we going to film it. And one of the very simple approaches is to see yourself as a reporter, investigating things, interviewing people, bringing you into the neighborhood. And of course, standing still here in the nice surroundings can be one way, but if you want it to be just a little bit more engaged, you might actually start to walk into the neighborhood you're talking about. In this situation, we're actually just outside the railway station in Vejle, which is a very nice area, among others, with, and I'll show you that in a moment, with a nice sculpture, because you don't really need to be in front of the camera while you are video recording. Maybe you will simply let the things tell the story instead. So I'm taking over the camera here, and I'm actually going to show you a little piece of text hidden here within this sculpture, as you can see here. There you go. Actually, in the bottom it says Jakobs drøm, which means Jacob's dream. So instead of having a noisy and annoying reporter, you let the video tell the story itself, maybe with a few comments. If you're in doubt, this is a pigeon. If you want to make an interview and make it look kind of nice, there are some things you could consider. First of all, if it's supposed to look like a conversation between you, the reporter, and the one you are interviewing, then try not to look directly into the camera as I'm doing at the moment. Instead, maybe have a little bit of an angle. You can't see it from here, but right there is Noah standing and we are talking together. If we only have one camera, we will be first video recording the question and then the answer. So it would look like this. I am asking Noah. So Noah, that's a very nice hat you have. Where have you got it from?
Oh, this hat. Actually, it was a gift from my wife. She brought it home from Le Mans, actually. Yeah, I'm really happy about it. So there you have it. This is a way that we, with one camera, can actually do an interview, but we have to cut the questions and the answers and then glue them together in the video editor afterwards. If you have two cameras, you can place them on each side like this, and then you can just edit in from both cameras, and you don't need to move around. And then the conversation can flow and you don't have to do retakes.
If you really want to make your interview or whatever you're filming a little bit extra interesting, you can do something like an action shot, someone walking through the picture, checking the time on his watch, or maybe even like here, walking into a door. And then in the next scene, you will probably be inside the building. Now let's take this clip once again. but this time we'll divide it into 3 clips, and maybe this will actually look a little bit more interesting than just a one shot. So yes, please Noah, continue. So notice that we had moved a little bit further down the route that he was taking, and he looked at the watch. And here it's important to say, if you kind of combine 2 clips with a person that is walking, you need to make sure that he's walking in the same direction in every clip. I've changed position to the wrong position, and now it actually looks like he's moving into a complete different direction, even though he's actually moving along the same route as in the first video. So finally, let's talk about zooming. Actually, every camera in a mobile phone or tablet can zoom. I'll try to do that, but it's not really a good idea. Maybe you can see he's kind of being, it's not the most clear picture at the moment. So what we recommend, if you really want to zoom, is actually that you slowly walk towards the person. And that's because the zoom function on a tablet or a mobile phone isn't really that great. So now this looks much nicer. And if you for some reason forgot that you wanted to zoom into this nice and friendly face, you might do it in your video editing program. That will actually also be much better than using the zoom function. Oh, one more thing. If you, like me, have problems with remembering, actually, yes, that was what I was supposed to say. If you have problems with remembering, or you've been writing a very, very long script, then a teleprompter app on your mobile device can be of help. As you can see here, I can see myself, and when I press start, I can read the text. A teleprompter will help you remember your lines when you're recording. That's it from now. Thank you very much.